So I don't remember necessarily because last time I was on the podcast, I spoke about how we went in with four songs, and
Yeah.
"Grounded" was one of the four that we came in with prior to recording. Um, so and before we actually like tracked it and like it is what it is right now, it was pretty different. It was pretty cool, but I like the new one a lot. But in terms of like influences for that song specifically, honestly, I'm not really sure. But I do know, like as a whole, for most of the record, like one of the big ones mainly came from like halfway through. One night, I forget when, Mike just came up to me and he was like, "Yo, look at this band," and it was this band called Joie De Vivre, and I just kept listening
Okay.
to that over and over.
Jo-
So,
Joie de vivre.
oh, sorry, Joie De Vivre, my bad.
It's French, yeah.
But
Joie
Joie
de
de
verve. That's
Vivre.
great.
Yeah, I didn't know, but
I thought that was
De Vivre, yeah, cool band.
probably some weird title there.
And it's not really like a band that you can necessarily hear in at least in my contributions, but it's definitely one that like influenced us to keep going, at least for me. So, but the recording of that one was pretty wild, I have to say. It was like our first major roadblock that we kind of got into, and it was the first
Yeah.
song we recorded. Um, like it took us a while.
Well, it
Like
was the
you
first
were
song
saying.
you recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think Rocks was the one that we did first.
I thought you were talking about Grounded. My fault.
Oh no, you're good. No, Grounded was one of it was like the first major roadblock, but yeah. Um like it was really the only time I really blew out my voice like
Oh
when
wow.
recording
Okay.
vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was pretty rough because it's pretty high at least at the time for me, or not even high, but just in a certain area that I was not used to at the time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, basically when like to get back on track, when we started recording it, like we showed it to Gary, our producer, and he gave us like a lot of constructive criticism on it to like help us shape it to be more unique than it was because before it kind of was it felt like it dragged on a little bit and oh it's like too similar to it to like everything and it was kind of boring and then we kind of like changed things around and made things a bit more themselves, I guess.
Hmm.
um and that took us like a few days to really, or it felt like a few days, but mainly like pretty much like one whole day to really get the track in the kind of like sequence we wanted it, and then to actually track it, it took us most of the time we were there, honestly, um, because that was my biggest vocal hurdle, and I remember Mike struggled on it to record the drums for it. So like he and I were both like, "Oh, we got to get this song. We have to do it." Because it was so challenging, but I think it was worth it in the end. But
Oh man, you guys absolutely that's really cool to hear. Like how much effort went into the song, but you guys, it sounds awesome. Like you nailed it. You
yeah,
nailed it. It was
Thank you.
so oh, you're welcome. It was so like I loved the EP, Dylan, that um
yeah,
you did like with Christian is it 2 years ago at this point, maybe, or getting close, right?
yeah,
Uh but I don't know, hearing like so I was remembering that, the vibe on that. And so I'm thinking like we're just continuing that. There'll be
yeah,
growth and everything, of course.
yeah.
Um but yeah, like Grounded hit me completely differently. It was a whole nother thing. And the energy's awesome. Song structure, I love. But like, yeah, the performances, man. Like your voice sounds like awesome.
Thank
And
you.
the drums, Mike, sound like just killer. Great killer energy, man. Just
Thank
it's
you.
awesome. I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. You know,
Oh, you're welcome.
the the drums on that track were quite the pain in the ass because Gary, our producer, he's a guitarist, and he had this drum idea in his head, and he even made like little like rough demos with like computerized drums, like MIDI drums. And like this is kind of what I want to sound like. And just for some reason, it didn't click in my head that he wanted paradiddles.
Oh,
Like, and it's funny because we recorded it, and I don't do the paradiddles in the recording, but I do them live.
awesome.
And because I didn't get it until after we were out of recording. I remember texting Dylan like a week out. I sent him a video of me playing, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Gary wanted paradiddles."
Yeah.
It's like
That's